American Freemason Albert Pike composed a letter 146 years back enumerating how the elites intend to dispatch World War III in the 21st century. The letter, written in 1871, points of interest how the New World Order will incite a holy war between the Zionists and the Islamic world. The Third World War must be incited by exploiting the distinctions caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the pioneers of Islamic world. The war must be led such that Islam, the Moslem Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, commonly decimate each other. In the meantime alternate countries, again partitioned on this issue, will be compelled to battle to the point of finish physical, good, profound and sparing fatigue. 3worldwars.com reports, Albert Pike got a dream, which he portrayed in a letter that he kept in touch with Mazzini, dated August 15, 1871. This letter graphically sketched out plans for 3 world wars that were viewed as important to achieve the one world order, and we can wonder about how precisely it has anticipated occasions that have officially taken place. Pike's letter to Mazzini. It is a usually trusted false notion that for a brief span, the Pike letter to Mazzini was in plain view in the British Museum Library in London, and it was duplicated by William Guy Carr, previous intelligence officer in the Royal Canadian Navy. The British Library has affirmed in keeping in touch with me that such a record has never been in their possession. Furthermore, in Carr's book, Carr incorporates the accompanying reference. The keeper of manuscripts as of late educated the creator that this letter isn't inventoried in the British Museum Library. It appears to be interesting that a man of Cardinal Rodriguez's learning ought to have said that it was in 1925 inches. It creates the impression that Carr found out about this letter from Cardinal Caro E. Rodriguez of Santiago, Chile, who wrote The Mystery of Freemasonry Unveiled. To date, no indisputable confirmation exists to demonstrate that this letter was ever written. Nevertheless, the letter is generally cited and the subject of much exchange. Following are evidently concentrates of the letter, indicating how 3 world wars have been gotten ready for some ages. The First World War must be realized with a specific end goal to allow the Illuminati to topple the energy of the Tsars in Russia and of making that nation a fortification of skeptical communism. The divergences caused by the agentur, operators, of the Illuminati between the British and Germanic empires will be utilized to incite this war. Toward the finish of the war, communism will be assembled and utilized as a part of request to annihilate alternate governments and keeping in mind the end goal to debilitate the religions. Understudies of history will perceive that the political unions of England on one side and Germany on the other, produced in the vicinity of 1871 and 1898 by Otto von Bismarck, co-schemer of Albert Pike, were instrumental in realizing the First World War. The Second World War must be incited by exploiting the contrasts between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be achieved with the goal that Nazism is demolished and that the political Zionism be sufficiently solid to organize a sovereign territory of Israel in Palestine. Amid the Second World War, international communism must wind up plainly sufficiently solid with a specific end goal to adjust Christendom, which would be then controlled and kept under control until the point at the time when we would require it for the last social upheaval. After this Second World War, communism was made sufficiently solid to start assuming control weaker governments. In 1945, at the Potsdam Conference between Truman, Churchill, and Stalin, a vast part of Europe was just given over to Russia, and on the opposite side of the world, the outcome of the war with Japan cleared the tide of communism into China. Per users who contend that the terms Nazism and Zionism were not known in 1871 ought to recollect that the Illuminati invented both these movements. Moreover, communism as a philosophy, and as an instituted adage, starts in France amid the Revolution. In 1785, Restif authored the adage 4 years previously upset broke out. Restif and Babeuf, thusly, were impacted by Rousseau, similar to the most acclaimed schemer of all, Adam Weishaupt. The Third World War must be instigated by exploiting the distinctions caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the pioneers of Islamic world. The war must be led such that Islam, the Moslem Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, commonly crush each other. In the meantime alternate countries, afresh separated on this issue, will be obliged to battle to the point of finished physical, good, otherworldly and practical fatigue. We might release the nihilists and the non-believers, and we should incite a considerable social disaster which in all its loathsomeness will indicate plainly to the countries the impact of outright secularism, inception of brutality and of the most ridiculous turmoil. At that point all around, the subjects, obliged to guard themselves against the world minority of progressives, will eliminate those destroyers of human advancement, and the large number, baffled with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that minute be without compass or course, restless for a perfect, yet without knowing where to render its reverence, will get the genuine light through the general appearance of the unadulterated teaching of Lucifer, brought at last out in the general visibility. This indication will come about because of the general reactionary development which will take after the annihilation of Christianity and secularism, both vanquished and eradicated in the meantime. Since the psychological oppressor assaults of Sept 11, 2001, world occasions, and specifically in the Middle East, demonstrate a developing distress and shakiness between modern Zionism and the Arabic world. This is totally in accordance with the require a third world war to be battled between the two, and their partners on the two sides. This third world war is still to come, and late occasions demonstrate to us that it isn't far removed.